All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome back to another video. So, as we wait for the big announcement of the next NetherRealm Studios games, which is more than likely going to be either Injustice 3 or Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 13, whatever they're going to call it, all we could do is just wait and maybe try to gather any information that, gets released by Warner Brothers or NetherRealm or anything like that to maybe give us a little bit of a hint of what could be potentially coming down the road. So today, Warner Brothers Games went a little bit deeper into their plans of restructuring their gaming division. As you guys know, a few months ago, the CEO, David Zaslav, had actually come out and said that Warner Brothers Games was going to be focusing on their key franchises, 4 of them to be exact, one of them being Mortal Kombat, the other 3 being Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and DC games. More specifically, he had mentioned the Batman Arkham games, right? But there's more information that has come out today, including a lead for NetherRealm Studios, a head of NetherRealm Studios being promoted to running overseeing Mortal Kombat and the DC Universe games. So let's read on here. This is from Variety. I'll leave the full article linked in the description. Hogwarts Legacy maker Warner Brothers Games has set a new leadership team for its development, production, and tech operations, restructured into divisions based on their 4 key franchises, which are Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, and the DC Universe. Per WBD, 3 current studio heads have been promoted to the role of Senior Vice President as part of the Warner Brothers Games restructure. Warner Brothers Games Montreal studio head Yves Lachance has been promoted to Senior Vice President Development, overseeing the development teams working on Harry Potter and Game of Thrones games. This is the big one. NetherRealm Studios head Sean Hemrick has been promoted to Senior Vice President Development, overseeing the Mortal Kombat and DC games. And the other guy is Warner Brothers Games New York Studio Chief Stephen Flannery has been promoted to Senior Vice President, Central Tech and Service, overseeing games or game and publishing technology, customer service, quality assurance, and user research. But first of all, congratulations to a head at NetherRealm Studios for getting promoted, and is going to be overseeing the Mortal Kombat and DC Universe games, which, a lot of people were saying earlier. This means that there's a even bigger possibility now that the NetherRealm Studio game is actually going to be Injustice 3. That's why in the title, I don't even know what the hell to title this video. Injustice 3 coming next? Wait, is it Mortal Kombat 13? Mortal Kombat 2? Is it Injustice 3? What are we going to get? I have no idea. But yeah, based on the fact that the one of the NetherRealm studio heads is being promoted to pretty much oversee the Mortal Kombat games and the DC Universe games, is very interesting because obviously there's a lot of very talented people at NetherRealm Studios, so congratulations to him. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, one of the key franchises, and I haven't really had a chance to talk about this ever since it kind of got revealed, but I think the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection actually makes it more likely that an Injustice 3 is coming, because the Mortal Kombat, by the way, check this out. This is a special gear move that Enchantress has only in player matches. It's pretty much Quan Chi's trance, and you could just keep looping it. And if you walk back a little bit, it actually becomes a really hard block. It becomes a really hard to blockable from either you stay on the same side or you cross your opponent up. It's really cheap. But I feel like the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection actually makes it more likely that the next game we are going to see is Injustice 3. I think I had said this maybe in a few comments replying to people. But just in general, my thought process before the Legacy Collection was, okay, the CEO of Warner Brothers literally said that they're going to be focusing on Mortal Kombat. That's one of the key franchises. They did not specifically mention Injustice, Even though, yes, you can 100% put Injustice in that DC Universe category, right? And the fact that one of the heads of NetherRealm Studio is going to be focusing on that division and overseeing the games being, developed for that DC Universe division, I think definitely makes it more likely now that Injustice 3 is actually going to be that game. I think the Legacy Collection kind of scratches that itch of maintaining, Mortal Kombat. I don't want to say relevant because it's always going to be relevant, and especially with a new movie coming out. But as far as like a game, the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is huge. It is huge. People have been wanting this for years and years and years. So the fact that we're going to be getting that this year, I think actually gives like that sort of Mortal Kombat itch. It still maintains a focus on the Mortal Kombat franchise going into the Mortal Kombat movie. But now, it kind of opens up the door for that other NetherRealm game that we haven't had in 8 years with Injustice 3, because obviously people are going to be playing the Mortal Kombat Legacy for years and years, right? So it gives a chance for NetherRealm Studios to sort of take a break from that main core Mortal Kombat game, create a new story or continuation of Injustice with Injustice 3, or I don't know, maybe they do. I don't see them going away from Injustice 3, to be honest with you guys. I think it's going to be Injustice 3, but it gives NetherRealm a break to reset after coming off back-to-back Mortal Kombat games. I'm sure that the team definitely is going to have a lot of fun, doing something other than creating different ways that Scorpion could, take your head off and Sub-Zero could rip your spine out. I think these Injustice games really helped NetherRealm to take a little break from Mortal Kombat and come back even better the next time. So I definitely think that an Injustice game is needed for sure. And I think this confirms a little bit more for me personally that it makes me a little bit more confident that Injustice 3 is actually going to be that game. And in the long run, I think it's actually going to be good. Sales-wise, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Sales-wise, I don't think it's going to do nearly as good as a Mortal Kombat game would do. And that's another reason why I was saying, hey, there's a big possibility we might get a third Mortal Kombat in a row. Because we have the new movie coming out, and we have the big sales difference from an Injustice game to a Mortal Kombat game, and Warner Brothers needs that moolah, that cash, right? They want to be as profitable as they can. But I think with this Legacy Collection, it will. I think the Legacy Collection will sell really good. I'm not saying it'll sell like a AAA game, but I think that's gonna lessen the blow of the potential financial loss that they might get from a Injustice game compared to a Mortal Kombat game. So yeah, I definitely think it's looking more likely that an Injustice 3 is coming instead of a Mortal Kombat 2 now, especially with the Legacy Collection. Like I said, I haven't really had a chance to talk about it too much after the Legacy Collection was announced. But once I saw that, I'm like, okay, I feel like with this still maintains their like focus on the Mortal Kombat franchise, but not a new Mortal Kombat game. Similar with the movie, they're still focusing on the Mortal Kombat franchise, but it's not directly a game made by NetherRealm Studios. And it opens up that door for NRS to go back to something that, changes up the pace a little bit in their development life cycle instead of just being pigeonholed to the Mortal Kombat franchise, right? I think that was really important for NetherRealm to have that break in between a Mortal Kombat game, or have that break between, Mortal Kombat games with Mortal Kombat 9, Injustice. They came back with a banger with Mortal Kombat X. Then you had Injustice 2, and they came back with, not my personal favorite, but a lot of people say that Mortal Kombat 11 is a banger. I think it's a banger game, but I don't think the gameplay is a banger for sure, at least for me. But in general, Mortal Kombat 11 is literally the best-selling Mortal Kombat game of all time. So it is a banger. You know, it wasn't my favorite, but I'll always put a caveat in there with that, because there's some people who are like, oh, now you're praising Mortal Kombat 11 now that MK1 is out. No, I'm not. But I am praising everything else around Mortal Kombat 11 that isn't the gameplay. And, you know, everyone loved it. It's the best-selling Mortal Kombat game of all time. But I feel like that break between Mortal Kombat games really helps NetherRealm sort of reset and come up with new, fresh ideas that people are going to like. And, you know, hopefully we never get a situation like Mortal Kombat 1 on release day where it felt very, very, very incomplete. But we'll never know. But I feel like with the release of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection this year, and also one of the heads of NetherRealm Studios literally overseeing the Mortal Kombat games, or the Mortal Kombat games and the DC Universe games, I definitely think that there's a bigger chance of an Injustice game being the next NetherRealm game, because one of the Mortal Kombat games is the Legacy Collection, which, you know, NetherRealm head will be overseeing. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Does this change your mind at all of like, hey, this might be an Injustice 3 instead of a Mortal Kombat game? I know a lot of you guys, honestly, were already thinking that Injustice 3 was going to be the next game, and or at least hoping, because like 85% of the comments are people saying that they prefer an Injustice 3 because NetherRealm needs a break. Totally understand that for sure. And I think NetherRealm definitely wants a break. It just depends on what Warner Brothers wants, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are writing the checks, right? So they're the ones that are providing the funding and all that. You know, it's under their name. So whatever NetherRealm wants, I mean, whatever WB wants, that's what's going to happen. So looking forward to seeing any information come out. I think we are going to get an announcement at some point this year, but it probably won't be until like maybe the last 3 to 4 months of the year. And I guarantee you the game is coming out next year. 100%. 100%. It just depends on whether the game will come out in April, which has it's notoriously been the release date for pretty much all NetherRealm games, except for I think Injustice 2 that was delayed a little bit, and then MK1 obviously came out in September. But it's either going to be April or September. I feel like if the game does not get announced this year, then it'll come out in September next year, and it'll get announced at like Summer Games Fest or something. But if it gets announced later this year, then it'll come out in April. So April of 2026. So that's what I'm thinking still. I definitely still think that the next game is coming out next year, because if it comes out in 2027, that would be 4 years again in between games. And Ed Boon literally said that they're not going to be taking 4 years for every game at this point, because they're such a big studio now. But then again, you know, Ed Boon did say that Mortal Kombat 1 would be supported for many years. So I don't know. I guess only time will tell. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.